Hello and welcome to the 27th Top Level Society podcast.
Yes.
Why are you so happy, Zarvox?
Because tonight's guest is ex-military, so we have something in common.
What's that?
Ex-military, or what we have in common.
What do you have in common with tonight's guest, Plum Testicle?
We both served.
Get the fuck out. Really?
Yes.
What did you do for the military and why have I never heard of this?
Because it was recently declassified, like yesterday, so now I am allowed by Papa Government to talk about it.
Ha 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 ha. You're the government's bitch.
Screw you. I'm no one's bitch.
Then why didn't you tell me about it before it was declassified, sissy?
Because you know what? Screw this. I'm not telling you anything.
You mean you aren't going to discuss how you were once a drone pilot?
No, I mean, yes, I'm not going to talk about that.
Or how you won 15 Purple Hearts 4 times served playing what you thought was a very realistic video game?
Yes, I'm not going to tell you about my 15. Hey, wait a minute.
Here is your host, Luthraz Dometriax.
Yeah, it's that boy Max with a banger, huh?
No, or Skylar, for that matter.
I just realized that dream didn't come true. Marie killing herself.
It should have happened.
I know.
Most annoying character.
They dig up Hank's bones and she stabs herself. She's laid up minerals.
Alright, well, welcome to the Top Level Society podcast. My name is Luthraz Dometriax. It's Monday, September 30th, 2013. Midnight. Exactly. I have a special announcement tonight. Thunderbeard is going to be joining me as a permanent co-host.
Woo!
Welcome, Thunderbeard.
Thank you very much for asking me. It is an honor. I've done 3 of these podcasts before, and I'm glad to be joining the team. Thank you for the complimentary umbrella and extra large t-shirt.
You're welcome. Allison is with us, as always.
Yeah, I'm a little less exciting, and I have a half a pack of beer for you.
Yes. I'm going to eat. While we do the setup, I'm grabbing a beer.
Josh, you want to introduce the guest?
Tonight, our guest is a personal friend of mine and co-worker, Eric Ostrander. I asked him to do the show tonight because with every guest that's on here, I know. I'm with your fiance. Special feature on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Every time I sat on this, we always had, I know, but they're going to run out. A guest that just has done something interesting that maybe the listeners have never done or experienced before, have some interesting insight. And Eric spent a number of years in the military and also did a tour of Iraq. So I asked Eric to be here tonight. Eric, say hello to everybody.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be here.
So what do we got what's on the docket? What are you looking for over there? Oh, I don't have one of those.
The docket is the usual question first, and then you're going to take over. And then we've got a special surprise at the end of the podcast, everybody.
I know what it is. I'm very excited.
So stay tuned or skip ahead if you want to hear something amazing happen as far as in addition to the interview that's about to happen with...
I feel like we're too close.
Oh, taking your belt off, though.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm
it's a little awkward.
It's not working. Okay. Are you going to fire off the first question then?
Yeah, Eric, what do you give a fuck about?
Well,
Think about this one. This was a hard one for me. Like the defining thing you give a fuck about. Like, if you, I don't even know. If the world was ending, the one thing, that's the thing you care the most about. She's tearing my table up. You think on your answer, I'm going to get her something to open that with.
that is a tough question.
That normally works.
I don't know. I mean,
It's fine. It healed itself.
You left your mark. She left her mark. Sorry, Eric, go ahead.
it's okay. I'm still thinking over here. That's a tough question. You told me earlier about that question, and I thought I knew what I'd say, but now I don't.
Well, you're an Iraqi veteran, correct?
Yes.
So, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume, at least at one point in time, you gave a fuck about the United States of America.
Indeed I did, I would say.
Okay. Is that still the case?
The country, yes. The government, no.
Cheers and applause to you for that statement. I think a lot of people would be happy to agree with you.
Oh, yeah.
Even 10, 20 years ago as well, unfortunately.
I'm here to agree with something. What's going on?
That he... go ahead and say it again, Eric.
That, I give a fuck about the United States as a country, but not its government.
That makes sense. I think I feel the same way about that. Like, I don't hate this country. I like the country, and I like the ideas behind this country and what was founded. But I'm definitely not behind how it's run. So that's a good. Hey, you try this. For the top level society listeners that are trying to figure out what's going on right now, we have a beer that we can't get open, and I don't own a bottle opener.
What?
I think that can opener might work better.
I think the can opener has a bottle opener on it.
Really getting dangerous,
It's
guys.
intense.
Yeah,
I don't know what
Busted out pliers.
That doesn't have a bottle opener on it.
I don't know then.
How do you drink beer here?
I always thought beer with Swiss tops. That's.
I brought over fancy craft beer and.
She brought a. That's higher than my level. Okay, so while we try to figure out this beer situation on the side.
I heard it.
I heard the seal break. We're gonna move on to our next question.
No, I have to be a man.
Now you're a man. Okay, so Eric, question number 2. This kind of I guess this kind of ties into the first question. Your answer on that. You did a tour in Iraq. I mentioned that in the introduction. I want to know what your honest thoughts are on your tour in Iraq. Like, I know you've reflected on it and thought about it. So, like, how did you feel about what you did there, as far as representing our country, or any actions you had to take? I'm sure there's probably things you're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on going to Iraq?
This is too much intensity for me right now, dude. You talk about war. She's opening a beer that's getting ready to explode.
Yeah.
Boom.
Success.
Finally, all
Thank
right.
you.
Climax.
Thunderbeard 1, bottle 0.
My thoughts on going there?
Yep.
Well, honestly, I didn't know what to think at all.
Like, did you have a lot of interaction with the people there?
I did.
The inhabitants. Did you have like any sympathy towards them, or was it a lot of conflict? Was it weird, or?
It was a conflict, not a war.
It was kind of weird. I mean, I love getting flipped off and spit at, so, you know, that was just so much fun.
So my assumptions about how people think of us over there are totally correct, then, I'm guessing.
Yeah. They don't like us at all.
So were you involved in any kind of like any combat situations or anything like that?
Yes, actually I was.
And was that fucking terrifying?
I found out what kind of person
Not at
I
all.
was
It's
that
very
day.
relaxing.
You know, I found out what kind of person I was that day.
Which is what?
I guess a fucking badass.
Oh. That answers that question then. This is, you might have just answered this question. Question number 3. What is the most frightening thing that has ever happened to you in your life? That might not be. You might have been raped by an ape or something like that.
Actually, that probably was the most frightening thing that ever happened in my life.
Combat in Iraq?
Yep.
I hate to ask this question. I know we're like laughing and everything here right now, but did you know anyone that you went on tour with that died over there? Did you have any friends or?
I didn't have any, like, nobody I went over there with died, but there was a lot of death from the other units I was in there with.
Anyone you knew at all? Like just
Not personally.
Not personally?
I knew of them, but
Right.
I didn't know them.
Was it shitty? I mean, it wasn't
It
cool,
was,
right?
it was kind of shitty.
I imagine it takes a toll on you, though, emotionally.
It did.
Garbage. I hate that for you.
It is garbage.
Okay, we're kind of breezing through these questions here. Let's move on to the next question. I asked question 4 in place of 3. I've got them swapped out here, so this would have been question 3, and now it's 4. How many years did you serve?
12.
12 years, and you just recently, as in like last December, got out.
Yes.
So, I've briefly asked this. I know you've given kind of like on the surface answers to this before, but what was your motivation for getting out? Like, if you think about it, like I got out, I served 4 years in the Navy, and it was September 11th was why I got out. Like, there was a lot of controversy around that, and I was asked to lie to my friends and family about what happened in D.C. that day, and after that I just had a distaste for the government. So, like, that was my motivation. Was it just time? Were you tired of it? Were you tired of having to shave your facial hair off? Or you wanted to grow a beard?
That played part of it, you know. I got tired of shaving my facial hair, but I just got tired of it all, period. Tired of all the stupid shit they had to put me through, I had to go do. I was just tired of it all. I didn't have time to do anything.
'Cause you got a full-time job now.
Yeah.
And you were doing guard at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're doing weekends. 1 weekend a month.
Yeah.
1 week a year.
And production Saturdays felt like twice in a month, so I got burnt out.
So
something had to give, and I wasn't going to give my job up. So.
Right. So it was the military. It was a matter of convenience for you then. This is the fastest I've seen these questions get burned through. We always end up going off on tangents like Danger Mouse and Tangerines and stuff.
We need to, yeah. What was the biggest cartoon character in Iraq?
The biggest cartoon character? I don't know if there was a big cartoon character. We had all the instructions cartoons? We had were cartoon based.
Really?
Like showing them how to wash their hands and how to use toilet paper because they don't use toilet paper.
Okay.
They use their hand.
Right. Yeah. They only use their left hand.
Yeah.
And you can't eat with that hand either,
No.
right?
You don't shake that hand either.
I didn't know that. I kind of don't want to talk anymore. I just learned that. I kind of just want to go lay down now.
They just scrape culture.
Yeah.
They just scrape the shit out of their ass with their hand?
Yeah.
Do they wash it after that?
Yeah.
Swipe on the ground.
They shit standing up too, so imagine that.
Like
Covering over a little hole in the
power
ground.
stance? Kind of like Wonder Woman. It's so bizarre. I'm never going to Iraq ever. They brought you guys toilet paper though, right? You weren't.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, of course. There's no way I'm gonna use my hand.
We want you to blend in. We want you to fit in here.
Here's this fake beard. Go ahead and put that on too, because you can't grow facial hair.
Okay, so that being said, we've covered your time in. We've covered I guess what would be the most pivotal moment in your 12 years, which would be going to Iraq. I don't guess anything else happened. You didn't go to Afghanistan or anything, right?
No, I was on the fence with going on that for like a year and a half.
Right, I remember that.
That's part of the reason I got out too.
So that being said, if you could you going back 12 years, would you do it all over again? Would you knowing what you know and having done what you've done, would you do that all over again?
Probably not.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
because initially I joined to go to college, and I waited till I was 26, and I enlisted when I was 17.
Right. So you kind of lost your way there with it. Your initial
I did.
Also money, right? Didn't they throw a whole lot of money at you all the time? You were constantly getting thrown like bonuses and re-enlistment bonuses.
Yeah, re-enlistment bonuses, but that was like every 6 years.
And you spent that on liquor and prostitutes. Like a real life Grand Theft Auto.
Pretty much. When we got home from Iraq, I blew a lot on liquor and strippers, so.
Target audience.
What's that?
Target audience.
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
You have it?
Fuck yeah, I have it. Are
Do
you
you love
kidding
it?
me?
Do you love it?
There's a ghost.
What?
Yeah.
There's a ghost
No way.
in Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
I haven't found it yet. I've just heard.
You've heard there's a
And
ghost.
that's all I need to hear to keep playing.
Have you beat it?
No.
Yeah,
No.
neither have I.
I've just not had time lately.
I've been off work for the last, 10 days. I haven't been going to work, and I've been playing the hell out of Grand Theft Auto. I'm like 70% done. I'm just save it, and it says your percentage complete. I got like 70% done. I've seen a lot of crazy shit, a lot of wild shit go down on it. So I'm glad that came up.
Yeah.
You were living out Grand Theft Auto. I gotta ask this question. This is probably the most serious question of the 10. This is gonna require a lot of thought for you. When you went to Iraq, was it anything at all like the G.I. Joe movie? Was there any power armor? Or,
No. No, there were no accelerator suits at all.
That's
There were no
That's
red.
a very specific name for this type of armor.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, is that what the prototype?
Are we talking about the cartoon movie or the
real movie?
the real movie?
I
Yeah.
was a human. I once
stage.
was a man. Yeah.
There were no nanomites either.
No Channing Tatums?
No Channing Tatums.
Well, I would get out based on that alone. No Channing Tatum. Okay, so God, burning through these questions, but it's good because it gives us more time to delve into what you've got coming later.
Yeah, we got a few. More than enough.
Okay, outside of this military discussion, let's delve into more of you as a person. What are your and this is more broad than just what do you give a fuck about. This is you as a person. What are some of your passions? Like if you could pick 2 or 3 things that really drive you and motivate you, things that you're into, hobbies, things that occupy your time and thoughts aside from masturbation. What are your passions?
There went that answer.
I used it.
Video games,
Well, yeah.
obviously.
Right,
That's a
obviously.
given.
Anything? I didn't know if you were going to give this answer or not, but I'm pretty sure you're pretty into cars.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
You're huge into cars. You're like Tokyo Drift.
Yes, I'm like a Tokyo drifter.
He's all
No, I don't drift, but it's fun to watch too, though.
So what else? What do you got? Like throw some things out there because I've known you for going on 3 years now, and all I know is Tokyo Drift and video games. And you went to Iraq. What is some other stuff? I'm gonna ask this while you guys are sitting there. Is it offensive to anyone if I will step right there and smoke a cigarette?
Not to me.
You?
It's your house.
Yeah,
It's
but
your house.
I'm trying to be like a cool I wouldn't just.
You want to smoke business, Dad?
Nay.
Of course.
I wouldn't just like bust out a crack pipe, right? I wouldn't just be like, "Is it cool? I'm just smoking crack right here." So
As long as it's blue.
right.
Yes.
I don't want to offend anyone's factory.
I don't
when
give a
smoke
shit,
cigarettes.
man.
Does it?
You're fine.
Okay.
Smoke up.
All right. Cool. So passions. What do you got? Throw a couple things out there.
Well,
I know there's more than cars and video.
there is. I like football and basketball a lot. Big Colts fan. Like going to watch it. I like playing it too.
We're gonna have a conflict, I think.
Why?
If I reach back to when it
Don't
was
do
called-
that.
Don't reference.
You can. I mean, we're not gonna have a conflict over
I'm
that.
just joking. It was just a talking.
Because she's also a Colts fan.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like I would be dead in this situation. You'd have to
No.
rescue me.
I'm with you on this. So it's a 50-50.
Okay, all right.
We had a discussion on, I think, back when it was the Who Gives a Fuck podcast, on what don't you give a fuck about, and it was organized sports. It was like number 11 or 12, and it was all organized. I think specifically football was discussed, maybe. I think we talked about baseball being okay, but football. So we got a 50-50 split in the room right now. If everything goes silent, it's because a fight has broken out. I'm not that.
Hey, you're wearing the Kingpin shirt.
That's true. Okay, I got a question for you, and I think this is a shared perspective in the room. And I always like asking this question to people. I've never done it on the podcast, but I learned about you like within the last year that you grew up with some religious affiliation, and
Yes.
you're an atheist now within like recently in your life. So may I ask? And this is one you might want to think on for a minute. Might require some editing. There might be some heavy thought here. How did you change? What brought you into like, God is dumb? I don't believe in that. So like, how did you get to that point? Was there an occurrence in your life, or was there some form of education, something you stumbled across on the internet? What is it?
It wasn't anything I stumbled across on the internet or anything I watched. It was stuff I experienced. Things that happened to me when I was deployed made me believe that, all this crazy, weird shit wouldn't happen if there was a God, I guess, because it was wild. Wild shit happening.
Did you take into consideration, because I've never been in a combat zone, but like, especially in like areas like Afghanistan, you're fighting against people who are doing it for their religion. Like I would have, if I was religious, and I grew up religious, I was never like, yeah, let's go to church. Never, but my family forced me to go to church.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, even if I was a really devout Catholic or just, some base form of Christian, being in a war zone, like I believe this and he believes that, and we're fighting, and he's fighting me over that to a degree, or he's wanting to kill me, like that would call into question a lot of things I believe. Like, how am I right and he's wrong? Kind of thing. I don't know if you had that kind of a conflict.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic, so obviously, I guess that had some issues in there, and me changing my beliefs.
My smoke is coming out everybody.
It's starting.
I feel like an asshole.
Can we open a window?
No, they don't open.
Damn it.
I'm joking.
They're sealed shut. No escaping in
Pussy
case of a
asking that
fire.
question too.
Can we please open a window in there? I can't breathe right now.
I had to close that because I was like staring at myself.
Oh, it's creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we got past question 8 there. Question 9. I couldn't come up with a question 9. I actually wrote that down. I couldn't come up with a question 9, so I'd like for you to, on the spot, come up with a question to ask the three of us, and we'll give you an answer for it.
Shit.
Flip the script.
Flipped it indeed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with.
You can't use one of my questions.
Oh.
Those questions have already been taken. You have to come up with something. Be creative about it. Be intrusive. Ask something that's going to be hard for us to answer. Ask something that might be embarrassing for us to answer.
Well, you can't just force us to ask one of those questions, though. Because, I mean, technically, we've never answered them.
These questions?
Yeah.
He could. That's a good point. You can use one of my questions. There's a moth.
This moth.
I think I will.
All kinds of issues tonight.
Moths serve no purpose.
Eating clothes? Who's going to eat clothes?
All right.
Who's going to eat clothes if there's no moths?
Very true.
So what is everyone else's religious beliefs?
I'm 100% atheist. No questions asked. And it was just through education. Like, I grew up thinking, my family's very, they're not just religious like God exists. They're very much like, my grandmother's like, everything that happened in the Bible really happened. That shit really happened. And even as a kid, I was like, how did no one else's boats work when Noah's Ark was built? I seriously thought like every little story in the Bible that we'd go to Sunday school and they would say, this happened and the Great Flood and talking snakes and shit like that. And I was like, that's like, where's the talking snakes now? Surely that would have survived evolution. And at an early age, I think I was like 10 or 11 years old, and I started seeking out the information, and I was very inquisitive about it and started researching things and going to the library and looking into other world religions. And there's a lot of similarities between Christianity and older religions, and I started piecing things together. And then when the internet started getting real big back in 92, 93, the resources were more readily available, and I was able to find things that, like connect with people. Because especially in the area we live in, it's more acceptable now, I guess. But when I was younger, that's like everyone around here, this is the Bible Belt. So that's not the kind of thing I'd go to my grandmother and be like, God's dumb, you're retarded, And it wasn't something I could just like go talk to people about. And I was able to connect through the internet with people that I had that similar train of thought with, and just continued to educate myself in the matter, and got to the point where, on an intellectual level, I think I hate to say this because I'm sure people are listening that are religious, but I think you have to be mentally defective in some way to be like, yeah, that's true, there's a magician in the sky who made chickens with a wand, that's how they're here. I just can't look, from a logical perspective, I can't look at it and agree with it in any way. And so that's where I stand. I took up a whole lot of time with that, but we'll go around the table. I'm
next. Yeah, I was baptized Methodist, and so are the Simpsons, so I'm kind of okay with that. It's one of those things. I wouldn't even call myself an atheist. I just have no belief whatsoever in anything. It's one of those things. I am proud of my parents for making us go to church, because in church we learned take hangover pills, what sex was, and all these great things, because Methodist.
You learned hangover pills?
Yeah. We had this guy, and he was like, look, I know you guys are in high school, but that's no reason to make yourself sick. And I was like, okay. And then they never taught abstinence either. They actually gave us condoms every Sunday, and it's like, that would have been great last night. So it was an interesting church.
So now you're just like, you've abandoned the concept of religion. You don't even think about it. You're just like, whatever.
I just hate that idea. I feel like religion is an excuse for people to be a good person. They can't just do it naturally on their own. They have to say, oh, well, I heard this story. Like, every religion has good stories saying, yeah, you should do this, that, and the other. But
Control through fear.
yeah.
Never heard of that.
What?
Control through fear. I'm just
Definitely.
I'm kidding. I've really heard of it.
You guys just going to text back and forth all night?
It's not us.
No, it's not us.
It's not even me.
I was just checking my
My
lack of friends again. Make sure I didn't have any new ones.
My brother is messaging me just ridiculous stuff here.
It's a phone party.
Okay, so yeah, atheist.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Don't,
Not
yeah.
even agnostic. And then John.
Well, I should mention that after I stopped running her church, that's when she stopped going because it was my idea to get out the condoms.
Really?
Yeah, and the.
That's not even close to being true. The guy,
I mean, that's-
funnily enough, who was the Sunday
Well, I
school
think I got
teacher.
this podcast. I'm spreading my religion.
Yeah,
Oh
he
man.
sung at my parents'
Chop
wedding.
Chapelwood was actually the name I used.
Minister Chop Chapelwood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Were you on TV? Did you have a Sunday morning?
Yeah, I did.
I think I saw it once or twice.
It was actually called the.
Religious Reveille with Chop Chapelwood will return after this.
I thought it should be Chops Chapel-y.
It was called the Who.
Slightly Asian.
It was called the Who Gives a Prayer.
Who gives a Hail Mary?
Every Sunday we would raise, I'd say about $1,000, and we had a lot of special guests too. We actually had Michael Jackson's stunt double, but he looked so much like him, and we use him after. May he rest in peace. After MJ,
Right.
transcended over, as we like to call it, to the
Moonwalk to
spiritual
heaven.
side. No, but in all honesty, I believe in insurance God and a metaphysical relationship, a neural network God, that we all are related mentally, kind of like speak of the devil. I think we all have a mental connection with each other and all living things.
Like Oprah's The Secret.
Yeah, and I think karma is real, and the things you do in this, the wrong, it's like Juicy J says, if you do wrong, wrong will follow.
Right.
And I think, the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. If you stay positive and keep your mind clear like water, you have no reason to fear the world around you. But if you cloud your thoughts or judgments, or like putting in Kool-Aid in the water, you're going to have a poisonous look on life and society, and treat and poison other people, and hurt people, and happy people. Well, guess what? We rule the fucking world.
So if you guys didn't catch that, he thinks Kool-Aid's poisonous. That's interesting. I would have never pegged that to be your line of thought on that. That's interesting.
It is.
Okay, so we rounded the table on religion, and that brings us to question 10, which is, what don't you give a fuck about? What one thing do you could not, like, pisses you off, or you try not to even think about it because you hate it? I don't give a fuck.
Four answers. What if you said rollerblading?
Change your answer.
Yeah, I think I might have just changed it.
Damn it. My bad.
It's all good.
John's big in rollerblading.
Oh yeah, I really want someone to say that. I fucking hate rollerblading. Shit.
I guess I could say that then. No, I
You
won't
can't.
say that. Not gonna be that easy on it.
That is an easy cop out.
It is an easy cop out. Let's
Anything?
see.
I wonder if I could take my makeup off.
One thing I don't give a fuck about that just pisses me off every time would have to be
You can't say child rape.
I don't give a fuck about child rape.
Every time Eric sees child rape in the news, he just goes apeshit and starts throwing things.
Fuck this table.
Oh, child rape.
This whole day. I gotta call to work again. Some kid got raped.
Not again.
Not again. I'm out $100 again today. Shit. I don't know how much money you make. Sorry, that's just my average.
Oddly enough, saying that I've been to war, I'm gonna have to say I don't give a fuck about war.
That's good. I like that answer.
What's it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Could have said it better myself.
That's
It's just a reason for big companies to get money.
that's
I was about to say, did you ever have to guard oil?
No,
No.
but I came in contact with people that did.
I was gonna say, I know a lot of people who had to guard oil.
Guarding the oil.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Well,
we burned through. That's the fastest ever, in my experience. We got through the 10 questions. Do you have anything in closing to add? Anything interesting you want to say or shout outs? You got any sponsors that you need to throw? I'd like to thank Gatorade. I think that does it for our 10 questions with Eric. Are we moving? Are we taking a break? Are we moving on? What's going on here?
we can move on.
Jackpot. So what do you have next? I'm really excited about this. I assume we're not adhering to the format where we cover news stories unless we have things anyone wants to bring up.
No one wants to talk about PRISM or the NSA or our lives being recorded at every second.
Well, yeah, this is on an iPad. It's all already gone there.
Yeah.
No.
By the way, I work for the NSA, guys.
All right.
SWAT teams are about to
Yeah.
come storm the house now.
Guarding a garden of oil fields. All right. So the special surprise is the 2013 Republican Platform Survey.
Now, didn't we do something like this similar? Didn't we have?
Yeah, we did. We had last year's too.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I thought so.
I don't remember if it said "Do Not Destroy" on it. I feel like I may have pointed that out, but I can't remember.
Why are you getting mailed these?
They think, well, obviously I'm a Republican.
Clearly, he's a Republican. If you've listened to any of these podcasts, you know how right wing,
Extremely.
neocon.
I'm proud to say I've never been mailed a Republican or Democratic survey.
Well, I guess you don't know who you are then. So,
Well, no one's gonna pinpoint you.
all right. Let me go ahead and read the introduction letter here. Man, this is a lot though. I'm just gonna read the first couple paragraphs. Dear fellow American, I, not we, it's I, because the Republican Party is one person. I didn't know if you realize that or not. I urgently need your input and advice to help focus our party and reinvigorate our grassroots outreach efforts across the country, and to help block the Democrats' all-out drive to take control of the U.S. House of Representatives in 2014. After compiling and modeling information for the thousands of activists in our database, you were selected to represent voters in your area.
I like
Yeah,
that
it's
it said
me.
grassroots.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it knew it was gonna get to the Midwest.
We're a grassroots party.
Yeah.
The official, they want me to do the official survey. I won, guys.
I like to think that you're
Like
the only
Publishers
person
Clearinghouse.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the only person in this county that got sent this. You're the representative for us.
It's 1 in 1,000 here. Enclosed is a special questionnaire document registered to your name and address, identifying you as the designated representative of voters residing in your districts. Yes, if it were up to them, I'm Dometriax block right here, or
That's
D
right.
block.
Uh-huh.
That's what they're talking about. Talking about me, guys. Many in the media are proclaiming that folks, because I'm a folk, common folk, if
Common
you think
folk.
about it, yeah. Folks like you want the Republican Party to abandon our platform of conservative principles and ideas, but I don't believe it. Again, because it's just one person.
I don't believe that.
That's why, as chairman of the Republican National Committee, I'm reaching out to you today. And this guy loves to just talk and talk. His name is Rance Priebus.
Rance?
Is that Rance?
How's it spelled?
I don't know, man.
Really?
Reince?
Reince?
That is actually the leader of the Illuminati, McDonald's Corporation, Walmart, Pop-Tarts, and, you guessed it, Listerine.
Did you research that, or are you making that up?
This is the first time I've heard this guy's name, but I think we found him.
That's him. I'm pretty sure.
Listen to that name.
I'm pretty sure that that's pronounced wrench. I hope it's wrench.
Well, anyway, he's the leader of all of the evil that happens every single day. Yeah. So let's go take the devil's survey here. We have 30... Why is everyone getting up on a...
No, I just thought it was something really funny that I was supposed to tell you
Okay.
days
I'm not
ago.
trying to jump ahead, but did I notice Visa and MasterCard logos
Absolutely,
on it, so you gotta pay?
Yeah,
You
have to pay
really,
attention to the survey.
Oh, wow.
You gotta contribute to the party.
Yeah, even if you don't participate, you can return the document with a $15 contribution
I forgot to...
It's ridiculous.
to help cover
Citizens.
tabulate the cost of tabulating your survey.
I
What?
got this email, and I have no idea where the hell it came from.
Oh, from Big Al Jorgensen, obviously.
The Rogue Nation. Office of the President of the Greenhouse. Citizens remain calm. The Rogue Nation government will not shut down October 1st. Long live the revolution. I have no idea what it is, who
I
it
didn't know there was
is,
gonna be a revolution.
or what the Rogue Nation
Who the
is.
fuck is the Rogue Nation?
when-
And how did they get my email address?
When's the
October
revolution?
1st.
Well, it's because you're on all the Microsoft computers. Allison Brown, you're like their top
That is
agent.
true.
I've seen her. She like sneaks out of the house at night and goes somewhere, and I never know. And she always like just says, "No, I didn't go anywhere." You're,
I was sleepwalking.
yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I had to bring up that email. I forgot
October
to tell you
1st is the
about that.
revolution?
Apparently.
I didn't get an email about a revolution.
But I don't think
And I tried to unsubscribe from this, and it doesn't
that's
have
tomorrow
the option.
though. Well, I think that's a little because that's tomorrow. If it's tomorrow, that means this podcast will never be broadcast, and
But today is tomorrow. No, wait, no, it's the 30th.
that was way too deep for this
was.
podcast. I apologize, audience.
Today is tomorrow. It's not a spoon. Alright.
But we got 33 questions here, so the last one looks like a doozy.
Alright. Is that an official term?
Can we write our
Yeah.
answers in?
No. Yeah, no. No, you can't work. No, our answers are written down for eternity in the space of sound frequency.
Because that's going to go before anything else.
O's and ones.
Well, all it
What's your
takes is just us talking right now and then someone broadcasting this later through an extremely loud speaker, and then it doesn't matter, guys. We're answering it. We'll each get a chance to answer these questions.
I want to
put it
point out that
way.
there's only like 2 or 3 things in this whole black and white form that are red, and the largest is "Do not destroy." Do not destroy.
It's an official Republican
Is that
Party
printed
document.
on adamantium?
Yes.
It might not. You might not be able to destroy it anyhow.
You can't burn it. I tried.
It's like the Necronomicon.
Yeah, it is. And there's actually a voice. What are you doing? And then I just said nothing.
Nothing. We'll
Just
do it on
testing
the
this
podcast.
lighter out. All right. Question number 1. Eric gets to go first every question, by the way, since he's our super special guest. Do you believe Barack Obama has used the presidency and the powers of his office to look out for the concerns and interests of Americans like you?
Fuck no.
Well, you're going to rotate right to me?
You look
just
like
go.
you want to answer that.
I think Barack Obama, I'm going to give an analogy I came up with one time, or a metaphor, not a metaphor, an analogy. I think Barack Obama, prior to Barack Obama, let's go back 2 presidencies. I think Bill Clinton did the best. He was one of the best presidents we've had in my life. He's the best president we've had in my lifetime, anyhow. And he spent a whole lot of time constructing this nice, awesome house. That's how I look at it. He did a lot of great things as president, except for getting a blowjob, which is a crime, apparently. Mm-hmm. So he did this great job. We had a surplus of money. He was doing things great. We didn't have to go to war for anything. He got a blowjob, and that's all anybody wants to remember. But he was a great president. His policies were great. He made a lot of great decisions. And then he handed it over to a retarded child from Texas. We ran around for 8 years with a hammer, just breaking shit, screaming, woo, shooting guns off, blowing holes in the floors.
He did
wrecked
that.
the whole fucking house. And then, Mom and Dad are gone. They're across the street, block party, having margaritas with the neighbors. And so this retarded child's running around just fucking this house up that Bill Clinton built. And then he finds the credit card in the drawer, and he just starts fucking ordering pay-per-view porn and pizza and shit.
Yeah.
And maxes out the credit card completely. And then he walks outside, and here's Barack Obama, who's going to be the new tenant of this house, and he's like, fix this. And so I think he's trying to clean up the most fucked up mess. And, like, no one could come in and in even 8 years clean up the mess that George Bush created. So he's not living up to all of like everyone's expectations. They expected it to be this humongous, amazing 180-degree turnaround, and America was going to be saved, and we were all going to grow wings and fucking blowjobs for everybody. I think he's done the best he can with a maxed out credit card and a wrecked house. Like he's really tried. I think he's made some tough choices and some policy decisions that aren't. They're never going to be popular with everybody, but he made the best decisions for his administration, in stark contrast to the decisions made in the last administration. And I think he's done as good as he can. I'm not saying he's done great, but I think he's done his best to look out. I think he's tried to be a good president. I honestly think that. That's my answer on that. And then we'll just seamlessly segue onto you.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Do you believe Barack Obama has used the presidency and the powers of his office to look out for the concerns and interests of Americans like you?
I feel like Obama's done what he can in his position. However, he's not in control. He's just a show pony. So there's really, by them just automatically saying Obama, it puts an evil connotation towards him versus saying, do you believe the current government or the current values or this, that, or the other is helping you? It's putting it all on one person where it's not. That's not where it is.
My answer is no. Number 2, in your opinion, was President Obama reelected because people supported his agenda, or did he win because he and his allies...
Please erase.
Was President Obama reelected because people supported his agenda, or did he win because he and his allies spent hundreds of millions of dollars attacking Republicans and lying about our agenda? Answer number 1 to this question is people voted for Obama's liberal agenda. Answer number 2, Obama won based on the most negative campaign in history. Choose one.
That's the only options we get.
You remember the last one? It was like, you either choose getting your ass fucked or taking it in the ear.
A, getting the ass fucked. B, taking it in the ass.
What was the first? What was it? Alright, so, again, Eric, because I don't even understand it, and I read the question.
I don't understand it either.
Yeah. Was President Obama reelected because people supported his agenda? Or did he win because he and his allies spent hundreds of millions of dollars attacking Republicans and lying about our agenda? So basically, people voted for Obama because of his liberal agenda, or Obama won based on the most negative campaign in history against Republicans. So was it a facade that he won, or did he win because he was really saying he was doing the right thing? I guess that's kind of what it's asking, right?
Mm-hmm. I'd say he won because... Not the negative campaign. I don't really think that. I think Romney was an idiot anyway, so
Yeah.
people kind of chose for the lesser of two evils.
Right. That's not one of the options, though.
I'm making it one of the options, damn it.
I'm going to go ahead and say that it was based on his platform. It was based on his liberal policies.
Liberal agenda.
Liberal agenda.
I'll take that one too.
That's my answer, liberal agenda.
Yeah, me too. Alright.
I don't remember the negative campaign.
I don't think there was one.
I just
think there
remember
was
Romney
either.
being an idiot.
He was the one constantly being attacked in the media in both elections, if I remember correctly.
Totally, like constantly just
And
being destroyed.
I just remember Republicans always saying, "We've dealt with someone like this before. We know how they are. You can't say anything to make them upset." And they, I just hear that all the time, and they were right because you're.
They're gonna make it?
My dog has asthma.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you shouldn't smoke in the house.
Probably.
Dog killer. Question number 3. How important is it to citizens in your state to have leaders in Washington give attention to the following issues during 2013? Jesus Christ. And there's like 20 of these. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. Question number 3, subsection 1. Answer, strengthening border security. And there's 3 answers to that question. This is like questions on questions.
This sucks.
All right, strengthening border security, very important. Somewhat important, not important.
Not important.
Not important.
No.
Not
What border do we live by?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reducing federal.
All the Kentuckians out.
I am a Kentuckian.
Love Kentucky.
Am I legal?
I love bluegrass.
Coming over here from the bluegrass state stealing our jobs.
Get your bluegrass out of here.
All right, reducing federal spending, very important. Somewhat important, not important.
Somewhat. But it depends on where you're spending it. You
That's-
have to have federal spending. I think we need
it's-
to refocus how we're spending our money.
I think it's very
Yeah.
important. Very important. Keeping taxes low, very somewhat not.
I'm gonna go for someone on that because I'm all for taxes because you get stuff when you pay taxes.
True.
So if your taxes go up, you would get more. So it just
Yeah.
depends on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm for that. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat. Keeping military well trained, equipped, and prepared.
I don't want
No.
to be like Canada, but I also don't want.
We could
bazookas.
We could just fucking we could shut the military down for a few months, save all kinds of money, and we'd still be okay. We still have the weapons, we still have the training. I don't see a huge invasion happening that we don't see coming.
Well, obviously, you want the Terminators to take over.
Yeah.
Skynet.
Fucking
I'm
asshole.
an agent of Skynet.
My biggest concern with that would be all the people in the military and their families and their dependents.
No, they
Yeah.
still get paid.
They would. You're right.
Would they?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as
Even
they
if
would.
you shut it down.
Yeah.
I mean, National Guard technically is the soldiers part-time.
Yeah.
So you just have a little extended leave. Spend time with your family without having to worry about leaving.
That was my biggest thing. It's like, oh, well, we're going to cut costs here because you're not doing anything. You don't get this. It's like, oh, well, no. That's not necessarily right either.
Solving the world's questions, one question at a time right
Hey,
here.
can I interject?
Yeah.
Apparently on the news in Europe right now, they're talking about a meteor that's about 20 meters across that's hitting the Earth in about 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So that's October 1st, huh?
Yeah.
So
They're
that's
the
saying
Rogue
revolution.
Nation was right.
within the next 24 hours, it's a 20 meter large asteroid or meteor that's going to hit the Earth, and it's 11,000 kilometers away right now.
You're shitting me.
I swear to God, my
Let's
brother's
see that.
watching it on the news.
What?
Oh, he just texted you about it?
Yeah, he's
Wouldn't they want to put that out there
Wait,
more
where's
than
it hitting at?
tonight?
Russia. No, wait. It's
Goodbye, Tetris.
gonna hit
We
the
love
ocean.
you.
It's going to hit the ocean.
Which
You know-
ocean?
Which ocean?
One of them.
God damn it. Thunderbeard, we gotta find out now.
The guy that created Tetris, when he created it, he had possession of it for 4 months. And
Oh, because this is more important than
Yeah.
the meteor about to...
Yeah.
All right,
this is
fine.
interesting.
This
Go
affects
ahead.
our lives.
The guy that created Tetris, the Soviets seized that shit from him.
I know, I saw the documentary, right, on Netflix.
And
I
he
think-
didn't get any money from it till like the last couple of years. They finally gave the property rights back to him. Yeah, he moved to America like fuck you and made games in America and never got anything for Tetris. They were soaking up all that money.
Yeah.
All that Game Boy
That
money.
guy's a genius, man.
Right. Next. Oh yeah, we're still doing the how important is blah.
Yep, stopping implementation of Obamacare.
That's not important to me at all.
No.
That's not important to me either. But man, you know what? I gotta interject. I think it is important. Why? Because he's basically working for insurance companies.
Fair enough. Just to me personally, I'm just like what I was like. It has,
I think it's not. I think it's important to recognize the fact that there's not going to be a generic insurance company provided by the U.S. It's not going to be like you go downtown to the courthouse and pay your insurance like you get, or like getting a driver's license or whatever,
right.
or drug abuse prevention. No, you get chosen a corporation, I guess picked out by the federal government. I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm assuming this is going to be one of those scenarios where Company A is what the United States recommends, and you have like so many choices.
But they looked at a ratio of how many people an insurance company has versus how many they're going to pick up as a result of this, and they were forced to, within a certain percentage, lower their rates across the board so that they're not making a huge profit off of this. So they're going to be insuring a lot more people but not making a lot more money off of it. If lowered, like my healthcare costs went down, my children's healthcare costs. That was one of the arguments for it that was never put out there, because that was the big argument.
one thing that was never really put out there. Obama brought it up a lot, but a lot of insurance rates went down, and the cost, like premiums, went down. Used to be like I would pay $25 for like if I went to like minor outpatient, $25. Now I pay $10. Things like that have changed.
Yeah, but see, I used to pay nothing, and now I have to pay $40.
You don't have a beard.
Doesn't matter, but you know what I mean? It's like,
He's got a
it's
point.
so different between each one.
It is
It's
different
just
from person to person.
Jesus Christ. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Well, but you go ahead. I can't. I'm thinking.
You have the questions.
My question is, to that question, why is it so important to spend money stopping something when you could spend money,
Making it better.
On something else
on
to improve.
fix what's wrong with the problem, basically, instead of spending money to alert people that there is a problem, I guess.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
See,
Alternative methods for healthcare management versus just stopping and shutting it down.
I was an accountant before I ran Allison's church. I forgot to mention that. So I'm very good with numbers. But yeah, I mean, seriously, I don't know, that it's kind of like the whole religion thing. You're spending all this money on a church when you could be using that to feed people who are hungry and starving. Why spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a church, paying priests, paying all these different people to run this magical castle of religion when you could take all of that money, if they're really all about Jesus or God or whatever, just become a monk and go live in a monastery, and let's have, all this money. Let's give the church to the homeless people, let them live in that, have something run it, and you can give the rest of that money to, I don't know. Never mind. I just got off on a tangent there.
Yeah, but it's pertinent to what you're saying.
Right. So anyway, should we move on?
Hit it.
All right. Expanding domestic exploration for oil and gas. Well, we already did that. It was called Iraq. Obviously, that's very important to us.
It's not important to me.
And here's how I think it's important to us. If we wouldn't have lied about it, if we would have just said we're going there for oil, I would have been like, you know what? Let's go fucking take their goddamn oil. We deserve it. We're fucking American.
Drive over there and pick up truck.
Yeah, just make it abundantly obvious what we're doing. Sorry, assholes, we're fucking America. We need your energy. Fuck you. And then when we get done with your energy, guess what? We're gonna use all of that energy to make solar and wind and water viable fucking resources for energy. And then guess what? We're gonna sell it back to you, and we're gonna make a profit off of it.
Makes us sound like bullies.
And we're gonna give all your citizens jobs building these. And then boom, communism happens.
Or I can't even think, Roger from Doug. Remember the cartoon Doug?
Roger.
Yep.
Give me your gas. Give me your oil, funny. Yeah. I'm going to cream you, funny.
Oh, God. But at the same time, it's really like, let's just stop placing value on oil altogether, and let's start placing value on what Obama promised and lied about, basically, was that we'd have renewable energy. That's our future when it really isn't.
It's a future. It's not our future.
I mean, if he really cared about that type of thing, his administration wouldn't be all about this Keystone pipeline.
Right.
That's never reported in major news. All the protests where people are literally chaining themselves to trees and things like that to stop this pipeline that has already also leaked tar sands or, caused all those problems. It's a big problem, oil, basically.
Never heard of that. Guess I need to watch the news a little more.
Just Google Keystone XL or Keystone pipeline. You'll find anything you want to know about it.
You got to insert pipeline.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get shitty beer.
Yeah, advertisement for Keystone.
Keystone.
Yeah.
And then you completely lose track of what you're doing and go buy Keystone.
Advertising.
And continue being an American. Typical American. What was I doing? Ah, fuck it. I got all the Keystone. Hey guys, let's watch football.
I got a 30-pack.
Yeah, done. No problems here.
Were you talking about oil earlier? Shut up, man. Keith Stone doesn't talk about oil.
And then this oil thing just bursts in your backyard. It starts raining oil on your house. You don't care. All right.
What's up next?
Yeah, it's on
all
you.
right.
We're going through these maybe kind of.
You're gonna start reading this after this question, by the way.
I am?
Yeah.
All right.
Stimulating job creation in the private sector. Very somewhat not important.
What does that mean?
Basically, instead of giving jobs to soldiers or creating more
Military
positions, bring that back to the private sector and figure out a way to pay.
See, because all I heard was stimulation in private sector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a teenager.
So I was like, what?
Do you want them to stimulate the private sector?
No.
Not the Republicans.
I don't want
them- Yeah, no.
I don't want them stimulating my private
Yeah,
sector.
they already kind of do though if you allow them to do body cavity searches. So
I think we all just turned into teenagers from.
yeah, we did, but we don't want them doing that. I know that much.
I would like to see greater.
Fucking faggots touching my balls and shit at airports.
What if you just ended the podcast with that?
The end, guys.
Fucking faggots. And
I just wanted to say, just be like Alex Jones for a second. Anyway, what were you gonna say? Sorry,
I
man.
don't have any idea. I was gonna say that I think, well, yeah, clearly, like, joking aside, clearly we need more jobs in the private sector, and there are jobs occupied by military and military contractors that could be handed over to the private sector.
Yeah. I mean, make it a better world. Build a third or second and third world trade tower thing.
All these trade towers.
Get it tripped up.
So I'm taking over reading responsibilities now?
Yeah, please.
Are you talking
Wait,
to
let me get this last question.
I don't know what to do with it.
Demanding, and by the way, gay disclaimer, I don't hate gay people, I just said faggot because I like saying the word faggot sometimes, so.
That's cool.
Alright, demanding free and open trade to get U.S. manufacturing growing. Demanding free and open trade to get U.S. manufacturing growing. Okay, do we want the New World Order to take precedence here and start a global market? Very important, somewhat important, not important.
I think there's too many loopholes and too many ways that is. People take advantage of free trade, I think. I think it needs to be better regulated. I'm going with somewhat important because I'm kind of back and forth on that.
And anyone else want to chime in?
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I think it's not important at all, personally.
There was you handed this
Yeah.
off. We're gonna.
I'll say not important at all, as well.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
There was a final one up here at the top. It kind of continued.
Oh,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
take it over.
Yeah.
So just to recap what we're doing here, how important is this to you? Investigating Obama administration blunders, such as the funding of Solyndra. That's how that's pronounced, right? That was the solar power situation.
Yep, yeah, I was going to bring that up. I'm glad they did.
The quote-unquote Fast and Furious Guns to Mexico debacle,
Yep.
and the killing of our ambassador in Libya. Is that very important to you? Somewhat important or not important?
All three of those at the same time, though?
Investigating things, such debacles in his administration. How important is it to you that we investigate those things and get better answers about them? I'm going with not important because fucking mistakes happen. We don't need to waste funding on, figuring out that someone died, some guns, blah, a bad investment was made. It fucking happens, whatever. If you don't want to elect a Democrat as a result of the decisions made by this administration, fine. But I don't think we need to waste any money further. We don't need to get Dick Tracy in there to sniff around the White House and go, I found a clue. It was Leatherdick. Man. I'm going with not important. Everybody else, what do we got?
I don't think it's important to research them, but I think it's important to make them well known.
Right, okay.
Like
Educate the public
a,
on them?
Like every president should have a list of bullshit that happened during their presidency that they may or may not have had control over. It may have been inadvertent or something they had no idea was happening. But I think it's one of those things where these are the mistakes you made, and this is what you did right. Kind of like a pro and a con list. And that's how you can find out who the best president is. The one who has the most good shit that happened compared to the amount of bad shit that they did. And then you rank all the presidents in a tier-based system, and then you have a database ready available to see who is the most evil fucking president ever. Which would probably be George Bush.
Which is just their lack of reaction.
And by the way,
evil as fuck.
Truman's the guy who started the Federal Reserve and the Secret Service that eventually became NSA, CIA. All these fun acronyms that we have all come to know and fear over time.
Okay.
Yeah! Stomp that quick, yeah.
Jonas said, putting an exclamation point on that shit.
Yeah.
Beagle on the podcast. That's Jonas for those of you listening.
Hounds of Hell right here.
It's my 8-year-old Beagle, and he's got opinions about Republicans. Right, Jonas?
He probably just has to pee, man.
He does have to pee. I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to let him out while you guys answer. Do you believe that President Obama's policies have helped make the economy better, had no impact on the economy, or made the economy worse? Do you strongly believe that his policies have made the economy better? There are 6 answers you can give me.
Okay.
Do you believe it strongly, or do you believe they kind of made the economy better? They had no impact. You believe they made the economy worse. You strongly believe they made the economy worse, or you're unsure. Those are your options. You guys go around and discuss them. I'm going to let the dogs go out and empty their bladders. Come on.
See this man.
Did Obama improve the government or
The economy?
economy?
Strongly believe they made the economy better, believe they had no impact, believe they made the economy. So we basically have, we believe they made it better, or we strongly believe they made it better, we believe they made it better, no impact, made it worse, we really believe they made it worse, or we're not sure.
Or I super duper believe they made it worse. That's how that shit's worded.
I'm gonna go with unsure on this.
I think a lot of the minor policy changes he's made have somewhat stimulated the economy.
I think, yeah, it's made it better, especially with some student loans. So people who work at nonprofit, we don't necessarily have to start paying back our student loans right away.
You work for a nonprofit? Who do you work
I
for?
do.
Can I ask?
I'm not going to say that right now.
Okay, that's fine.
But I will more than happily tell you at a later point.
Okay. Molly, the mother of my kids, she works for a nonprofit, so that's one of the things she's benefiting from is the student loan thing there. Okay. Firing up that next question because that one was stupid. The media is proclaiming that Americans, even some Republicans, now support the Democrats' drive to raise taxes. Do you believe this is true for the majority of people in your district? Do you think people in our area are supporting the rise of taxes, the raising of our taxes?
No.
No. Well, yeah! Charge us more money. I love it.
I take more of my paycheck.
I'm not getting that deal.
I think they're strongly opposed to raising minimum wage, though. People hate, Republicans fucking hate the idea of raising minimum wage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm eating pizza, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Sweet. You've had a buffet of items tonight.
Just because I feel like our listeners are going to get to better know me since I'm going to be on here more regularly now. My girlfriend of 8 years and the mother of my kids just moved out a couple weeks ago, and I've been going through serious bouts of depression. Yeah, I know. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this is I've been sitting in this apartment by myself a lot lately, and like I won't eat for 2 or 3 days, and now I'm like just food.
This is like the biggest apartment I've ever seen.
This is a big
house.
It's a single unit.
Yeah,
single unit apartment. The next 3 houses over, they're all the same house. We're just like separated. But now I'm like eating a whole lot today, and then tomorrow I won't hardly eat at all. So I hope that cheered everyone up to here at home. We're in their cars. Are you concerned about inflation undercutting your savings, devaluing your home, and increasing your cost of living?
Wait, what?
Isn't that, yeah?
Are you concerned about inflation undercutting your savings, devaluing your home, and increasing your cost of living? Inflation.
Well, I don't have a home. I also don't really have savings, and I also
live within your means.
Live within my means, but also I don't invest in things that could be affected by the economy. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. I think the economy is an illusion. Just like the job loss, the unemployment rate is an illusion now because they're writing off people that they deemed are just going to remain jobless. So the statistics are off. It's just imagine a crackhead walking into an abacus party and fucking the whole room up, and then leaving and saying everything's a-okay, guys. I reset all the abacuses to abaci. Thank you. To 100% pure American muscle. We're going full speed ahead, guys. Everything's a-okay. Obama. All right, sorry. Go ahead. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a supporter of the newly instated Barack Obama policy known as the boot tax, whereby any leather boots imported into the country have an extra 8% tax?
Why are we
All right.
A tax on boots?
boot tax?
I made that question up. That's
Oh.
You guys all just sat there like,
Damn it.
what do we think about taxes on boots?
I was like,
I'm wearing shoes right
Okay.
now, so.
Do you believe that the policies and tax increases being pushed and backed by Barack Obama will create good jobs and improve the economy in your area? Tax increases create jobs?
Oh.
somehow.
Yeah, military jobs.
These questions are just pissing me off.
I love it. I think, do we have a subset of answers, or we just...
Yes and no. Strongly yes.
I would say...
Yes. Kinda yes. No as fuck.
Yes, I'd say... I would say... no. I would say no, he's not. I would say that also is an illusion.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Not in our area.
Not in our area.
Not definitely not in this area. No.
Do you support another round of federal quote-unquote stimulus, i.e. jack-off? Do you support another round of federal stimulus spending by Democrats that devalues the dollar and provides billions of dollars for special interest spending projects? Yes or no?
Well, when you put that thought in my mind, that way.
I just don't like him stimulating things of mine. What is...
I'm going to go with no on this.
Get your tentacles out
I
of
think I'm
my...
discovering that I'm a Republican. by
Wait,
this question.
dude, what are they asking about stimulating? What was...
Stimulus spending by Democrats
They all ask.
for special interest spending projects.
Oh, you mean like bailing out banks?
So they can pay millions of dollars in bonuses to the big wigs.
Which, let's not forget that was Bush's administration that implemented that policy.
It says special interest spending projects, which would be more like the Solandra and stuff like that, where we're like,
okay.
we're going to invest in some things, we're going to take a gamble on some stuff with taxpayer money.
I would say as long as it's beneficial to only the United States of America and its citizens, sure, why not?
I'm
and
with that.
only
I'm with that,
non-detrimental to the health of our citizens.
I think we can stick with the status quo, which clearly doesn't make people happy right now. Or we can. I mean, you have to take a gamble. If you want to win money, you got to spend a little money. You got to take a risk.
I'll say yes to this question. I think
I'm going to go with the yes one. This is the first question in a while that I'm actually like, I want to give an answer to this.
Yeah.
Okay, section 3, entitlement spending.
Obviously, we need that.
I don't know what entitlement spending is. Question 9, the first question of section 3. Should entitlement reform be a major focus of Republicans in Congress to cut the federal deficit and put our nation on track to a balanced budget? Yes or no?
That's like asking, hey, should we keep spending money we don't have or stop? The answer is no. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty clear cut. Would you support a phased-in increase in the retirement slash eligibility age for Social Security benefits that would not affect anyone over the age of 50?
So we stop spending money on retirement?
I think what they're asking is an increase in the retirement eligibility age. Like, you have to be older now to collect Social
It
Security.
used to be 70 instead of 65.
Right.
Are they saying we should...
Do you support that? Do you support that concept? Raising the retirement? Yeah, I don't know.
I actually support decreasing the retirement level, especially with all the unemployed people.
Right. It's a good idea.
But then again, our life expectancy is longer.
So,
You'd be able to work longer.
I don't want them to work
Probably.
longer if they can't. If they're disabled, if they are, veterans that are disabled after coming back home, I don't want them to have to work.
Well,
I
then
mean,
they'd be on disability, not
right.
retirement.
But let's make it easier on them is what I'm saying. Let's just say you can retire now, or...
Here's the thing.
I'm going to throw this out there just from an economic standpoint. When Social Security was implemented, people put a little bit of money in their savings account, and they had that, they had a pension, and they had Social Security, and that's it. What you're saying is, and I'm with you on this, the age needs to be lowered. You can retire at an earlier age, cash out, and retire, because that opens up jobs for younger.
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
It opens up more jobs. That's good. People's concern is, and it's because it's ill-informed basically, is that, well, if you retire at an earlier age and your life expectancy is longer, how long you're going to be milking Social Security for longer and longer and longer, and it's going to eventually we're going to get caught up on how much money we have in Social Security, and we're going to run out.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that being an argument is that within the last 15 years we've started to implement various new forms of saving, and almost every company that's worth retiring from has a 401k, which is something that our great-grandparents didn't have. And for the most part, it's a minimal amount of your paycheck, and your company usually matches it. So really, I mean, I guess if you worked at McDonald's for 50 years and retired from there, that sucks if you run out of Social Security, but better investing and better use of our money. People are taking care of themselves more and more these days, I guess, when you retire. So I don't necessarily see the Social Security. I mean, I can see it, but I'm for lowering it, like you said. Yeah, we're going to run out of Social Security. There's no saving that with us living longer and the population continuing to expand. We're not equipped to handle that on a budget level. But I am not for raising it. I'm giving a no to that question.
Okay.
Anybody else?
No.
Should retirees be exempt from property tax increases on their primary residence? Yes or no?
Be exempt from tax increases?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, because you're...
I think there should be no taxes on you after so many years. Like 10, 15 years, if you're living in the same house that long, no more property tax, you own the land, it's yours. Like a certain limit like that. Because did you know, by the way, no one technically owns their house and their land anymore in this country.
I know that, yeah.
Yep.
It's
all owned by the government and banks.
Well.
Yep. And you pay taxes on it indefinitely.
Would you support allowing individuals under the age of 50 to opt to put a portion of their Social Security withholdings into private accounts that they control but cannot access without penalty until their retirement? Basically what they're saying is, you know you're going to get X amount when you start drawing Social Security, so what if we let you take 1/5 of that and invest it in Roth IRAs, a 401k, or some kind of bond? Are you for letting people take control of that and making investments with it? So long as they can't touch it until they retire.
I don't really have a problem with that. Helps them get a little money.
I don't have a problem with it so long as there's accountability for it. Like, I lost 1/5 of my shit in bad investments, and I'm still going to get, fucking too bad. That was your call. We're not going to make up for it.
As long as they aren't bogus hedge funds.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as it's legitimate investing, like, I get that, and I think the same thing goes for retirement money. It's say you reach 50 and you're pretty well to do, but you don't want to work anymore and you want to give your subordinate your position and allow them to increase and advance their career, and you want to take your extra money that you're getting from the government and reinvest that into something special, like even if it's your grandchildren's lemonade stand. If you're helping build a business, that's beautiful, and that's what America's about. Why not allow that to happen and that extra money to flow to these? Because let's be honest here, when we retire, we're not just going to spend all of our money on ourselves. We're going to want to give that to our family and our loved ones and help them out, because everyone struggles from time to time. So that is kind of a great balancer, and also stimulates the economy.
Okay. Either you need to read, or we need to take a time out briefly.
Why?
I don't want to smoke again, and I hate the idea of offending.
We'll take a little break.
Okay.
We'll take a little break.
Good stuff. Okay,
We're back.
we are back. National security issues. We're getting into the meat of this thing. Should the United States follow through on President Barack Obama's decision to eliminate the military's two-war strategy that gives us the ability to fight two separate conflicts if need be? Obama wants to get rid of the two-war strategy. I don't know that we've ever needed to implement that. I don't see that as being an issue, and I don't give a shit. That's not an option, but I'm saying, should the United States follow through on it?
Fucking sure, I don't give a shit.
What's a two-war policy? What
We
is
can
that?
go to war at 2 places at once. I didn't know that was I didn't know that was a topic.
Wait,
I
didn't
already
know that.
did.
didn't we?
We
Wait.
do. We can.
This
know
is
what I
saying
mean? Like,
that
I feel
goes
like-
away, and we can only go to war with one country at a time?
Yeah. Two declarations of war.
What
at
happens
once.
if two countries attack us?
What happens if World War III?
Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
do anything.
We'll see if
Or
we're.
are we just taking on the world at that point?
Yeah, we're taking on like an axis of evil again, basically. I think what it says is we're in the middle of a conflict with Syria because of this. We're declaring war against them for this reason, and now we're declaring a separate war against North Korea. If they're allied together, then we're fighting that allied force as one war. But two-war policy, we're going to war for two separate reasons at once. Basically, what it boils down to is expenditures and dissolution of manpower is what that has to do with. If you want to go to war with this other country, you better settle your shit with this first one, is what Obama's saying.
You just can't have wars on wars.
Yeah, you can't have a shitload of wars going on at once.
There's too many wars.
Too much war.
If you have too much war, then there's never going to be enough war.
You run out of the deck?
Too much war. I'm going with yes on that.
I'm going with my fuck the world policy. Let's stick to the American people.
I agree with that.
And
Okay.
We got our own problems.
All right.
Yeah, let's deal with our own problems.
Moving on. Has the Obama administration done enough to counter Iran's drive to acquire a nuclear weapon?
What?
Has the Obama administration done enough to counter Iran's drive to acquire a nuclear weapon? Do you think Obama's done enough to stop them from acquiring a
Yeah, they've
nuclear
done too much.
weapon? Yeah, it's constant war.
They've been constantly trying to start a war with Iran and constantly failing time and time again. Just give up, guys. They don't want to fucking fight us.
So yes.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We're just fucking powering through these things because we've only got 19 to go. Should the United States expand funding and deployment of our missile defense system to create an Iron Dome to stop possible missile attacks from rogue nations and terrorists? This is a Republican question to the core.
Wait,
I don't know
Iron
if I'm sure
Dome?
with Iron Dome.
It's the policy that this was in discussion. When I was in the military, I worked specifically with missiles. That's what my job was, working with missiles. Iron Dome is the concept is that we push out into other regions outside the United States, and we set up this basically a grid of missile defense systems in other countries, so that if a nation outside the dome, outside this realm of missiles attacks us, we have an early response to it from another nation. Should we be preemptively setting up anti-missile defense systems?
So basically, this is a shelter for embassies, right?
No. It's not an actual dome. The concept is that the United States is in the center of this table, and we set up anti-missile defense systems in other nations, which creates a conceptual dome of defense over us, so that no one outside that realm can launch a missile at us because we're preemptively set up to defend.
A shield of sorts, a counter missile shield.
Like counter missiles is what it is. It's a set of missile batteries to take down.
But also at the same time, couldn't those be used to completely destroy America within seconds?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I don't like that idea. No.
Okay then.
I'm not that fair. That's like taking your house and building like a fucking like electric fence around that, a moat around that, and then you've got machine guns on turrets that spin 360 degrees, and they're remote controlled by some guy in a fucking cubicle somewhere.
I mean, I'd worry about that if other countries have shown proof that their missiles could reach us, but like North Korea can't even get one off the ground.
All right, get ready to think.
Here's what I'm for. I'm for anti-drone missile turrets in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want the Republicans in Congress to continue to oppose blanket amnesty for illegal immigrants?
Yeah, let's bring the immigrant thing in here.
National security.
I think we're our own worst enemy. Leave the immigrants alone. They just want to drink beer south of us, and they just want to drink beer north of us. Just let them be happy, guys.
Okay. Any other answers on that?
And if they want to come here and be happy and pay for health care and Pay higher tax. Wait, no, they pay higher taxes in Canada. What am I talking about?
They get more.
I guess they pay less taxes in Mexico and more taxes in Canada. Is that accurate?
I don't know.
I don't either. Do you know, Allison? You're a college graduate. Eric?
I have no idea.
Well, I guess we're never going to know. Let's just move on to the
I'm
next.
not Canadian or Mexican.
As he walks away.
Yeah, as he walks away.
I need more pizza.
It looks like the pizza is the answer to this question. He's just like intent on bringing it
Shows
in.
how much you know, asshole. Cinesticks.
Excuse me.
Okay. Do you believe Obama's strategy on treating all countries as equals to the United States has strengthened our security and weakened the resolve of our enemies?
Yeah, that is a Republican question, right?
It is.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
No, I don't think so.
That's like saying, do you think getting to know your neighbors is better or worse for you? I'm going to go with better, because I know my fucking neighbors are.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Anybody else? Anything? We'll just throw
I don't
our
have
answers. I don't
anything
think we need to go around the table. We'll just throw our answers out there.
We're all too, like, on the same page here. We need Glenn Beck. Or
He's going blind.
he probably deserves it.
Yeah, he does. That's karma. Karma.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly. He'd be a great guest on the
Yeah, he would.
podcast.
I would just end up hitting him. That would be horrible for you listeners. Okay. Cinesticks aside.
Because all of our listeners are like hardcore Republican.
No. I mean, like, it's all audio. They wouldn't get to see the actual fight. You're like, what's going on? It sounds like somebody headbanging against meat. All right. Do you believe that China's recent launch of its first aircraft carrier and their naval expansion should give pause to Obama's plans to shrink the number of ships in the U.S. Navy?
Whoa, loaded question.
It is.
So is that asking, should we strengthen our oceanic defenses?
You think
basically?
Obama's fucking up by shrinking our Navy?
Shrinking them?
Yeah, you think that's a good idea?
What are they there for to begin with?
The Navy?
I mean, I'm not saying the Navy in general. I'm saying, like, as far as an international territory, why are they there?
It's like it's like not, you won't approach a bank to rob it if you see security guards outside. I mean, it's a rapid response thing. We have ships everywhere. Somebody mobilizes against us, we've got the Navy there. I mean, everybody's with the Navy. They carry SEALs with them. They carry Marines with them. Mm-hmm. They have tanks on board their carriers and on board the destroyers. They have everything. It's like the best of the best, and it can go anywhere.
They also have, they've developed a railgun on one of them recently.
Railgun.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, we need those all over the place. I mean, that makes sense. I don't think necessarily defunding them is necessary. Well, what am I trying to say here? I don't think it's important that we focus on less of them, but I think it's important that we focus on budgeting them so that they're as effective as a well-oiled ship, to put it in an appropriate way. Make sure that we're spending the money appropriately on these ships.
Being
But at
stewards of the resources.
Yeah, but at the same time not limiting the resources and manpower in the process.
As a former representative of the United States Navy, I'm going to very confidently say that we could definitely handle budget cuts in the U.S. Navy. I mean, we're fucking everywhere, and it's overkill in almost every region. It's like, hey, we got 24 destroyers within 10 miles of this coast. You don't need that, especially with how advanced our weapon systems are and how well manned they are.
How many jets per
Aircraft carrier?
Yeah.
600 to 800.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So that's enough to take out a small country.
You wouldn't think that, but the thing is, they have 6 to 10 elevators on them, and they store them below deck.
That's so
You're talking
tight.
about the largest moving item on the planet.
I'm sorry, I just thought of Guile stage on Street Fighter 2.
Well, to give you reference, because most people haven't seen an aircraft carrier in person, but when you're in the military, Eric will tell you have to do physical requirements test, a PT test every 6 months to make sure you're still fit. And part of that is usually a 1.5 to 2 mile run.
Yeah.
So when you're on an aircraft carrier and you have to do your PT test, they usually do a 2 mile run, and that's just 2 laps around the carrier. That one of those things, the diameter of it is 2 miles, or not the diameter, but the circumference of it is 2 miles, or is a mile all the way around.
Okay.
That's how big they are. And you're talking about, I don't know, I can't even tell you how many how many levels there are to an aircraft carrier, but a huge portion of that is just jets packed and like neatly packed, like in opposing directions, so that they fit nice and neat. And there's hundreds of them. So
It's the highway to the danger zone.
it is. Tom Cruise will tell you. Section 5, healthcare issues. Do you support Republican efforts to stop the funding and implementation of the Obamacare healthcare legislation? We discussed this off air, I believe, right? And I think we unanimously said that we don't need to be spending money to stop Obamacare. We don't. That's a no. We do not support that. Question 20. Have the government and news media provided information to ensure that citizens have a good understanding of the composition, impact, and costs of the Obamacare healthcare legislation? And that's no. Absolutely not. Unless you research it yourself and read it. And read the and even then, when you research it, it's usually, here's the finer points of it, and it's very skewed depending on where you read it at. Like, here's all the things about it that are evil, or here's all the things about it that counter the things that were evil on that Fox website or whatever. So I'm going to go with no. I think you all went with no on that. Question 21. Are you concerned that Barack Obama and the Democrats... That sounds like a band. Ladies and gentlemen, Barack Obama and the Democrats. Woo! Are you concerned that Barack Obama and the Democrats intend for their Obamacare legislation to eventually lead to the creation of single-payer government-run health insurance and healthcare system? Basically, are you worried that Obamacare is pushing us towards a government-run healthcare like in Canada? Are you
Absolutely. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Isn't that what it is anyway?
It's pushing us to more of a nanny state, basically.
Yeah. So.
Which is another reason I'm not for it.
Right. Okay. So, yes, we're going with yes on that. I think it's going that way.
And communism.
Communism. Do you believe you can receive the same quality of health care and accessibility to quality care through a federal government-run health care system?
What? Or what was the first part?
In contrast to how things are right now, do you believe that you could receive the same quality of health care and accessibility to quality care through a federal government-run health care system? I'm going to go ahead and give you my input on this, just because I think it might skew you a little bit, and that's what I'm hoping for. Is that it's a frightening idea.
It is.
But if you look at how it's run in Canada, if you look at how it's done in Europe, the doctors over there, if you can read interviews with these guys and like their opinion of how American healthcare is run. In Europe, everyone has access to good healthcare because there's a standard. Like hospitals here are owned by private investors. This hospital is owned by these 22 doctors or this family of investors or these investors. And they have their own, sure they have the oath they adhere to and they're going to, but they all have their own setup, like they all have their own standards as to how they handle what is a heart attack versus what is a cardiac episode and things like that. But with a government-run healthcare system, there's standards across the board that have to be adhered to. So if you go, it's like this, you go to the shittiest McDonald's you can find or you go to a McDonald's in the middle of Times Square, you're going to be able to get the same double cheeseburger because there's a standard that McDonald's has. And the same would go with a government-run healthcare system. But subjectively, if we don't put the right standards in place with a government-run healthcare, then anywhere you go is going to be shitty. But realistically, I mean, across the board, it should be fine. Like, this shitty hospital versus the best hospital you can find should be required and mandated to provide the same level of healthcare and the same level of concern for whatever your ailment is when you go in.
As long as it's the same level of healthcare that all of the politicians get.
Right.
Which is top level.
And that's the way it's done in Europe.
Yeah, if that's how it is for everybody, sure.
Yeah.
If not, if we get a substandard, no way, Jose.
It doesn't matter. By the way, in Europe, it doesn't matter how many heart attacks, it doesn't matter how many brain surgeries are performed by a doctor. He doesn't get per treatment paid.
Per capita.
He gets just paid. He gets an hourly paycheck. And there's no drive to like, I'm going to work with brain patients, or I'm going to do this. I want to work on these specific patients because I'm going to get the highest paycheck. If you're treating a cold, a broken leg, or someone with AIDS or head trauma, it's all going to pay the same. And that's one of the benefits of it.
I think it makes sense. It's like basically paying all football players the same, no matter what points they score.
Okay.
I'm for it. Regulation of that sounds pretty legit, and it'll also stop a lot of the greed that doctors have and lawyers and all of that. I'm definitely for regulation of that.
We've cleared 6, values issues. This is going to be fun. This is going to touch us in our cockles.
I hope so.
Do you support President Obama's unprecedented decision to ignore federal law and order his Justice Department to stop enforcing and defending the Defense of Marriage Act? Do you support Obama's decision to ignore federal law and order his Justice Department to stop enforcing the Defense of Marriage Act? Do you think Obama was right?
That sounds like, do you want to not block something that may have happened? Like, I'm not sure if they're saying, are you for or against defending marriage with this question?
They're saying, do you think Obama was right to force our government to stop enforcing DOMA?
Okay.
And I do.
Yes.
I don't think that's something that should be government regulated.
No.
It's all in the wording here. The people reading this are going to be like, oh, faggots, no way, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Except in the faggot in a bad way.
Yeah. Do you support the U.S. Supreme Court overturning of Roe v. Wade to allow states to regulate / restrict abortion as they see fit?
So basically, should we allow the government to allow abortion to happen?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think the abortion...
Should be across the board or
So,
state decision.
should a woman be able to make a decision about her own body?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
As long as it's within the appropriate... This is where the
As long as it's not a form of birth control. You're not getting your 3rd abortion for the year because you don't know how to take a pill or use a condom.
Well, not only that,
That's
but...
my biggest thing.
There's a certain period that you can... This is the whole controversy. Like, when is it actually a baby and when is it still just a part of you? And there's like a cutoff period.
I'm going to say 12 week.
Yeah, as long as you're like within a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, no... What is it? After birth abortion, where it's just the head sticking out. And
Yeah, like that whole
out.
shit's...
That's not. No, that's wrong.
Like if you're gonna, like if you've crossed this threshold, you gotta either have a serious medical like this baby's gonna fucking kill you if you have it, or
Rape
you
babies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other whole problem too. Rape and like, oh my god, I was on so much crack when I got pregnant with this baby.
I always thought this. What if we're wrong about religion? What if God is real and Jesus was real and the second coming was aborted? Like some woman was immaculately conceived, like had Jesus in her, she went and got an abortion.
I feel like
That's not predestined, though.
I feel like if God was in control of that, there would be a force field around this fucking fetus, dude.
Yeah.
You're trying to stab it and it walks off.
I fell down the stairs. Okay, DOMA.
The fucking mother floats to the hospital. Doesn't have to get an ambulance.
Roe v. Wade. Should church-run hospitals, schools, and other organizations be required to pay for birth control and abortion services for their employees?
Isn't that a healthcare cost? Yes, they should have to pay healthcare for their employees.
That is a healthcare cost, you're right.
And churches hate paying any kind of taxes.
Should
and,
churches have to pay tax? Yes.
yeah, I do think that.
Well, they're asking about a church, because what they're saying here is like church-run organizations, that portion of healthcare stands in conflict with what they're representing. But that's not the point. The church has employees, the church has people that work for them, and just because the church believes something, I don't feel that the church has any right to say what you do and don't do to your body outside the realm of working for them. So that's not their decision to make. You can stand in opposition of it. That'd be like saying the guy that owns, there's a callback here, the guy that owns Chick-fil-A, he's going to fire you if you get married and you're gay. It's not his...
More current burrito pasta.
Right.
You didn't even say anything wrong.
And no, I don't... I do think they should be required. I think if it's an across-the-board thing and other healthcare providers, that's a part of... Burp. Church-run hospitals, schools, and other organizations should be required if it's part of their, their health benefits for their employees, then yes. I don't think they should be allowed to regulate what you can and can't do in your personal life. They're taking care of you on a health level, your call. That's my answer there. Anybody else?
Yes.
Yes. Should federal funds be provided to nonprofit clinics whose primary function is conducting abortions? So again, should we take money that we're paying in taxes and give it to abortion clinics?
But aren't we already giving it to their kids if they have them?
Right.
It's either one way or the other, really.
Uh-huh.
Well, you got to look at this. Look at it like this: you kill the baby for a one-time fee, or pay for the baby for fucking years.
And then their babies probably.
And their babies too, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making rhymes over here. I'm for it. I'm down.
And this is again for government funding abortion clinics.
Yes.
I would rather it be safe for the person who's getting it, so I would want my money to go towards it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
It does.
I'm glad you brought that up. That puts a little air into our answers. I'm with
Less crackheads. Less crackhead babies is always a good thing. Less like shitty, like just less babies that just. I mean, you got to think. At the same time, these babies that are born to these mothers who like are either A, afraid to get abortions, or B, I guess can't afford them, or decide they want to try to raise this child, but they're just not a fit mother, or not a fit. They're still a child themselves, basically. Is what I'm saying. Do you want to make the opportunity easier for them to eliminate that child's shitty future, or I think if anything, give them the option. Say, you do have adoption as an option. Like, always make sure that's an option for them instead of just kill the fucking baby, kill the baby, kill the baby, kill the baby. Like, you also do have you can give your baby up for adoption, and I think a lot of the money for somewhere that's being spent on missiles or whatever, like that could be allotted for helping, because our child care protections is in a shitty state right now too, because we just keep putting foster kids. We take them out of one shitty home, put them in another shitty home. So you got to look at it. Even though Steve Jobs was an orphan himself and rose to be Rosebud,
But
you
what's the
have
most recent child foster care story? I don't know if it was Hoosier or not. She was taken away from her parents because they were smoking weed or something.
Right,
Ended up being raped and killed a week later.
Yeah, exactly. Bogus situations like this, where we're literally taking them out of a really non-hostile environment, but we just find something technical that to remove that child. Like, work on eliminating a lot of those stupid rules and policies, and also, I don't know. Like, there's got to be a way to fix the whole problem too. Like, all I'm saying is always make sure that the person realizes their child could have a good life, but let's work on this good life that our government provides for these kids, and making sure that, I don't know, it's a lot of policy that needs to be reworked with option B, I guess, or option A. It should be option A, adoption. Option B should be abortion.
Well, maybe you could look at abortion as adoption by heaven.
Yeah, let's just skip the whole bullshit, planet bullshit, and send them straight to
So
hell.
you baptize it comes out, baptize it, then it goes to heaven.
Yeah.
Do you support allowing parents to use government vouchers to send their children to the school of their choice, be it public, parochial, or private? I don't fucking know.
Tupac went to a private school.
Did he? I don't know what a government voucher is. You get like a coupon in the mail?
Well, you get a card, and you swipe it, and it gets paid for.
No shit.
Yeah.
And the question is, do you think we should be allowed to use that for children to go to the school of their choice?
Why not?
Go to
have
the
a
school
problem
in
with
their
that.
district.
Yeah, I'm with you. I say no on that. I think you go to the school in the district. I mean, like, certain schools get allotted money differently by the government, so I don't, like, that seems to be, like, it could be taking money out of the pockets of
If you don't like it, join the PTA.
Boom.
But the problem is our educational system is already so fucked up. It's in really dire straits right now, dude. We've taken cursive writing out of the...
Is that out?
Yeah,
It's out.
dude, they don't teach kids to write in cursive anymore. I mean, where has our sophistication gone?
That's weird.
Yeah.
And all our corporations' names are lowercase now. Proper nouns don't even matter.
Yeah.
Next, our names are going to be all lowercase all the time. People, my own mother, she used to write her name on forms lowercase. I'm like, what are you doing? You're an adult. You capitalize your own name on this form. What are you, 12? Have some, I don't know. It just bothered me. The whole idea of this educational system just completely collapsing and the basics only being taught now with no creativity introduced. They're slowly eliminating creativity and allowing kids to rebel against things they don't like. A lot of that's being really enforced, and I think that really does kind of play a part. If this child feels like their public school just isn't meeting what they want, I think they should have the opportunity to choose a school that will give them, if they just want to go to an art high school or something like that, or they want to expand their creativity or meet other people that are creative and aren't just there to push pencils. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, that's important to our culture, basically. It's like saying, do you like eliminating culture? Do you want your culture to go away? Or do you want to keep and sustain culture and keep people who reject the whole, architecture of society? I don't, never mind. Just let's go to the next question. I'm thinking too deep here.
Passion.
Yeah.
This is the last section. We're down to the final 6 questions, and this is going to be the best because it's the
feel like we just got
future
started.
of the Republican Party.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Are you satisfied that the Republican Party is effectively communicating our reasons for opposing President Obama and the Democrats' liberal agenda? I read this whole thing. The last 27 questions just read to me like, I don't like Obama. And I think they're communicating that quite well. Yes, I'm going to go with yes on that. Question number 29. Were you contacted by the Republican Party via telephone or mail prior to the 2012 elections to ask for your support and your vote for our candidates? I know your answer because you got one of these in 2012.
Yeah.
I was not. They didn't talk to me. I think they were like,
I got no call.
fuck
I
that
didn't get
guy.
anything.
I got nothing.
Hey.
Question 30. But this did come to you. So the answer would be yes. Do you believe that the Republican Party needs to remain the pro-life party? Yeah. Sure, we gotta have an enemy, right?
So does that mean Democrats are pro-death?
Yeah.
Like, what's a Democrat stance?
Pro-life and pro-choice, as far as abortion goes, is what I think they're getting at.
Isn't it anti-choice the correct term of pro-life?
Is it anti-choice?
Anti-choice, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You get no
anti-choice and pro-choice.
Well, pro-lifer, I know that's... Do you think they should remain like... That should be a firm stance of the Republicans?
No.
I don't think it should be
A firm stance of anyone.
any party.
Right, so no. We're all on no on that one. Question 31. Should Republicans develop and promote a comprehensive solution to stop illegal immigration and provide a way for illegal immigrants living in the U.S. to obtain legal documentation without blanket amnesty? I don't think Republicans should develop that. I just think that's a very logical solution. Like, we can't just have, like, I'm not trying to sound like a racist or a dick, but we can't just have everybody just coming in like, well, fuck it, we're here now. There has to be a form of documentation for one thing. You have to be registered. You got to be on the grid in this country. As much as I hate it, you need to be, like, you have to undergo specific, you have to meet certain guidelines to be a citizen of the country. And we clearly have illegal immigrants here right now. And there does need to be a comprehensive solution to getting them worked into our system and integrating them into our society so that we're all accountable on the same level and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm yes on that.
But there should be a limit to that as well.
Absolutely. Sure, for sure. And that's why it says comprehensive.
Right. Yeah, it's all in that one word. Yeah.
Should the Republican Party make a specific effort to reach out, encourage, and recruit supporters and candidates from the Black, Hispanic, Asian, and other minority communities?
Oh my
Basically,
God.
do you think we need more niggas up in this thing?
Should we stop being racist?
Yeah, should we be less racist?
Wait,
as
what are the
Republicans?
options? Are they yes, no, or unsure?
This is yes and no.
Okay.
They've been yes, no for quite a while. Since he handed it off, actually.
Or does it pick the
Should they
race?
make a specific effort to target and encourage recruitment of supporters from Black, Hispanic, Asian?
If that's what they want to spend their money on, sure.
Should we skew our political goals and objectives to meet the likes and dislikes of specific minorities is what that sounds like to me.
I don't get...
Like, you put out there what you stand for, and it doesn't matter your race, you like it or you don't. Like, it
That's
sounds
what
like,
I'm thinking,
should
like-
we be manipulating other fucking...
Right.
No, I don't like that.
Like, it's just
I
like...
really don't like that question.
It's kind of, the question itself is racist, basically,
Yeah.
because it's saying,
That's what
should
I'm
we,
saying.
like,
If they put it out there, then everyone's gonna know that they're doing it.
I think about the McDonald's commercials with only black people in them, and the hip-hop urban beat in the background. How do you like this, black community? Come get your Big Macs. Come on, get them. We're a white corporation, but you love them. I'm old Greg, and I sell Big Macs now.
I was thinking that while you were doing that voice.
But yeah, dude. See, I mean, I'm white, and those types of commercials piss me off because I'm like, well, you're just saying, like, where's my white commercial?
Right.
Or where's my, like, why not just have, like, a goddamn commercial be a commercial and just say, look, you're a human, we recognize that, and we appreciate you. Would you like to purchase a Big Mac today?
Yeah, it's a shitty question. It's making me mad. I'm
Move
saying
on.
no, Republicans.
Yeah, no.
You should write that in the additional
Or
comment
like,
section
why haven't
right
you
there.
been doing this all along?
Right.
So you're basically the white party up until you make this change?
Like, do you think we're going to focus on the blacks?
So you guys are the white party, huh?
Final question.
Jay-Z's a Republican, though, he said it.
Do you believe our party?
Is that the question?
No. It does say.
No, I don't believe in the party.
Do you believe our party makes an effort to address issues of concern to women?
That's when I said it was a doozy.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have a woman here to answer.
Do you think the Republicans address the issues that are important to you?
No.
No. You think they sidestep them, or they go the opposite direction of what you'd like to see them go? Because that's what I'm going for. I'm going to say no here.
I think the Republican Party loves women, and I think they love to tug on the heartstring of crazy, psychotic, religious fundamentalist Christians everywhere, because they know that they're easily manipulated and they're easily targetable by commercials because they use keywords all the time, like abortion and all these things that and gay rights. Sorry, my vagina started talking. Take it away, Allison.
I got nothing really great to say about that. I just know, no, they don't. That's the one thing. Like, how many real Republican women are out there?
I made a snail.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I bet you got it.
No, they really don't. They scare me. A lot of women are bleach blonde, have like 8 kids, job.
They're all the trophy wives are always bleach blonde, Orion master race, perfect.
And then their husband sits there and cheats on them, and they're like, it's okay, he's gay. And you're like, how does any of that make sense?
But then he comes back and says, I'm not gay, I just had sex with men and little boys.
Yeah, it just, no.
It's a choice.
I don't listen much to what the Republican Party has to say, especially when it comes to women's issues. So but I'm going to go with no. I know clearly. I know what you're saying. They manipulate women, especially fundamentalists and the religious sect. But I don't think they make a very good effort of addressing issues that women have. Issues like when they do, they address them in a way that are not this. They don't go the right way with it. They're too conservative. They're not progressive enough in their ideology. And I'm going with no on that. And anyone else where this is the final question? Anyone else want to chime in? It's time to do it before we move on to what I believe is going to be our final topic of the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely say no to this question.
Okay.
No.
No? So that does it. Unless listeners at home, if you'd like to send us an email and get a mailing address from us, if you'd like to contribute to the Republican Party, organize opposition to the Obama Democrat agenda, build our infrastructure, and support candidates who campaign our platform of conservative policies, values, and principles, you can enclose a check or money order of $35, $50, $70, $100, $250, $500, or other dollars to the Republican Party. Mail that to us, and we'll be sure that it reaches the Republican Party along with this Do Not Destroy form.
Why does it start
Why
at
can't it have an
35?
exclamation point after the no's on it? Just
don't
the
know.
yeses do?
Yes, I want to help the Republican Party.
What's the maximum amount I can donate?
500 and then other. You can write in a number. You could write 508.
Wasn't there a limitation on last year's survey? I seem to recall
A weird limit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there was, because we commented on how, like, what if I want to give more than that? No.
Yeah, because it was a specific amount. You had to stop.
That was a part of the election, wasn't it? Saying how much money they got from certain people. That's
Yeah.
probably why they set that limitation.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter now.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
matter now. Yeah.
So, that
Yes.
does it for the 2013 Republican Platform Survey. We will not destroy this for Republican listeners.
Nailed it.
We'll compare it to next year.
I think we passed.
Yeah. A+.
So we got through an interview with Eric Ostrander this evening. We've done the 2013 Republican Platform Survey. I think this is paramount. This is huge. This is the top of the mountain for the evening before we shut her down and start our orgy. There's got to be at least
I
9.
don't think it's an orgy at this point.
There's got to be at least 6 holes in this room.
It's an orgy of questions.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess that a giant number of the people who listen to this are gonna throw their fist up and be like, hell yeah, when we bring it up. Tonight was the final episode of Breaking Bad.
Yep.
I think all 4 of us here watched that final episode. Anybody have any closing thoughts? Anybody got any comments on that last episode, how it ended? I'll go ahead and lead off here because I was thinking about it while I was outside smoking. And just, I think that's the greatest television show I've watched. I'll say that. I've had other shows that I liked a whole lot and I put up on a pedestal, but I think the writing, acting, believable story, the characters that I liked, it was very character driven. I think it's been my favorite TV show I've watched in my 33 years. And I think if I could assign a numeric value to how good that show was, the final episode lived up to that number. Like, it's as good of an ending as that show deserved. It was a great ending. Spoiler alert, Walter White died. I couldn't see it happening any other way. Like, that had to happen. And I think that they did it poetically. I think that it wasn't overly, like, it wasn't Scarface. It wasn't Blaze of Glory going and getting shot down. Or there was no suicide or anything like that. He just kind of passed away there poetically at the end. And I think it was a great final episode. I'm going to miss the shit out of that show, but I'm glad it ended the way it did. Like, they summed it up nicely. They tied up all the loose ends.
I did.
It was a very solid package when you look at the entire series. So I think the actors, the writers, the staff on that show, that's a round of applause to them. That was great. And that's mine. I'm done talking about that. Anybody else got any comments that I didn't just say? You look like you're deep in thought.
Well, the whole idea of Walter dying in his lab, not in his lab, but
Right.
in a lab, it kind of goes with the whole American dream of dying doing what you love.
Right.
And he technically did, and he also technically killed himself in the process of basically ending what he started.
Right.
Which I think it is poetic in a sense.
Yeah.
Because every man has a passion. Every family man has something that they use to sustain their family life. Well, they used to anyway, before we had disability. Now it's just Grand Theft Auto and weed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in all seriousness, I think it was... Skylar should have died.
I'm still really mad Marie lived.
Yeah, Marie.
I really wanted her to kill herself.
I'm gonna throw out there. I think it was great that Jesse got to choke Todd out like that and kill him.
Yes.
I hated Todd, and to see Jesse.
Todd was the most
He's
that was a
horrible person.
Yep. That
Molly
was a very
said-
satisfying scene.
It
Molly
was.
said that Todd looked like Matt Damon's retarded brother.
He does. Every time I
Yeah,
see him, I
yeah.
think that.
I might have been sitting there
Damn.
watching it and be like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Todd's dead.
I kind
Yeah.
of felt myself get a boner.
Yeah, that was.
You know,
that
you
was
got a
awesome.
little chub.
As soon as the chain came around his neck, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I wanted to stand up and go throw a roundhouse kick and light off a bottle rocket. Yeah, some Roman candles. Dee, dee. Go, Jesse. That was good. That
It was.
Better shoot him.
I think my favorite part about it all was Jesse, instead of eating shit sandwiches all the time, finally
Oh, yeah.
got to,
Divine intervention.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was for him.
instead of bad luck, he finally got,
He actually got the biggest break of it. Like
Yeah.
he suffered the most through that show. Probably he got his ass kicked constantly, and he had all kinds of struggles with morality. And he clearly has a hang up on children. Like he has a thing about children getting hurt, and I think he got his feelings hurt most, and had a lot of things that upset him, and disrupted his psyche. And he's the one that got away. I mean, he suffered through all of that to have his life saved. He even got the opportunity to kill Walter if he wanted to. He was given the opportunity.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that he felt he needed to do, and he rode away into the sunset. And that was good. That's what I'm saying. Like, they wrapped it up great. Like, everything I wanted to happen short of... I'm like, Maria was an annoying character, but I don't give a shit if she lived or not. Skylar's got to have some remaining family. Her husband's dead. Her sister show up. But there was closure on every... I thought Walt's machine gun contraption with the garage door opener was awesome. That was just an awesome scene. That was just like... Oh, of course, it harkens back to when he was blowing up other people's offices with chemicals and stuff. Like, that's his Heisenberg genius right there. Mm-hmm. And the bad guys lost. Jesse got away. Money got to go to his family. He got to settle things, with his gray matter associates and talk to them. And he, of course, he passed away.
I just like the fact too that it took 5 seasons for him to admit that he was doing it for himself, not for his family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was very true.
Yeah.
It
was all
finally admitted it.
It was a big rush to him. It was a big ego trip. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, I was very emotional when the show ended, but I'm pretty sure I just clapped to the TV. Like, no one else was here, and I think I just clapped. I was like, yeah!
I could feel the tears welling up. Not because Walter died, because now I don't have that show.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
there is 2 broke girls.
Oh, I hate you.
Hey man, it's a good show.
Is it really?
Yeah,
it
I'm going
is.
to start watching it. It's pretty funny.
It's happy-go-lucky and it's entertaining.
Oh.
It's very current event jokes.
Yeah, they touched on Prism and NSA in the last season premiere.
I guess I'll give it a shot. I trust your opinion.
Yeah, it's worth checking out.
There's always Sons of Anarchy.
A lot of people like that show. I've seen a few of them.
I'm current on that. I've watched all of it.
I did see all about Star Galactica, however.
Was it good?
Absolutely.
Cylon.
Never watched an episode of that either. Yeah.
I can't say I have.
Aren't we all Cylons? I think that concludes. We made it through 3 acts tonight.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's been...
It is.
Hour 54, yeah. Well, you threw a break in there and stuff. In closing, on my behalf, I'd like to once again just thank you for allowing me to come on board with this, and I'm looking forward to doing many, many more of these.
Absolutely, happy to have you.
Bringing my 2 cents to the table.
Hopefully bring more than that.
I've got 4 cents actually in the bedroom. I was going to divvy it up over the next couple, but I can bring all of it the next time around. I'd like to thank Eric for being here tonight and answering our questions and chiming in with us on this podcast. So you're going to take it home?
Yeah, thanks also Allison for being not really a co-host this whole time, but...
I'm just always here in the background.
Just being a part of it. Just being here.
Unofficial producer.
There we go.
Right.
Nailed it. That's what you call me.
I'm going to end the Top Level Society podcast, by the way. We ended every episode now gets ended with a joke.
Okay.
Which this joke has to do with a local thing to this area. What doesn't get wet when it rains?
No idea.
The Ohio River.
Oh.
We're going to end it there, guys. Thanks for listening.
Damn it.
Thanks for listening to the Top Level Society podcast. Have a sexily.
Thanks for listening to the Who Gives a Fuck.biz podcast. Please call the hotline at 424-253-6355 with any questions or comments, and they will be shared on the next podcast. Have a great evening, you sexy humanoid, you.